Welcome back everyone, it's Robert Hall, and in today's video, I want to share with you some tips for wedding photographers. So as long as you guys end up enjoying this content, I want to make this a new series on my channel. I'm coming up on 10 years in the wedding photography industry. Not only as a lead photographer, but including my time as an assistant, and then second shooting, and then being a lead photographer and eventually starting my own business. And when I think back to my behaviors and my skill set when I was starting out in this industry, it's ridiculous how much my entire mindset as well as what I do has changed. And I've probably worked with well over 100 other photographers, and each time that I do work with someone new, I pick up a new trait or skill or idea that I can implement into my workflow, as well as things that you shouldn't do. I've seen a lot of things that you shouldn't do as a photographer, so I want to share those experiences in this new series. And I definitely want to break this up because there's so many different facets of wedding photography, from just being the photographer to working with people to editing to workflow. There's so much to talk about here. And lastly, I want this to be a conversation. I only have my experience, but there's so many people out there who have things that they can add, and it's all about finding what works for you. So if you have anything valuable to add, make sure to include it in the comments below so that I can see it and anybody else watching the video can check out. And in today's video, I want to start off talking about the client experience. And the reason I start with this is because I think that it is the most important factor in being a wedding photographer. That's right. In some instances, I think it can be way more important than the photos. Look, there's thousands of photographers that people can choose from, and I know everybody has a unique style, but even when you get into style, there's a lot of photographers that look alike and can provide a similar quality of photos to the couple. But one way that you can really separate yourself is the client experience, how you make them feel on the day of their wedding. My first tip is to maintain a positive attitude no matter what. Wedding days can be extremely stressful for a couple. There is so much going on. They've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on all these different businesses that they've never interacted with before to all come together and build this day that they've been thinking about for a really long time. People get nervous, tensions get high, things run behind, there's delays, and there's a lot of stress associated with all those things. And all those things can affect the photographer, both people's moods that can show up in photos. Those delays can take away your valuable time. There's so many ways that this can affect the photographer, but it's really important that even if things aren't going your way, that you maintain a positive and upbeat attitude. Even if you're freaking out internally, make sure that you keep a calm and level head and keep an upbeat attitude and just do whatever you can to best do your job in those situations. My next tip is to serve your client whenever you can. There are so many situations that take place on a wedding day that your client is unprepared to handle. If you've been to one, you've probably seen them come up to cut the cake and have no idea what to do. Or it might be the first time a guy is putting on a tux. And all these moments where your client is feeling a little bit lost, that's an opportunity for you to guide them through the process. You should be able to instruct them on how to cut the cake, serve it onto a plate, give each other a bite, give each other a kiss. Boom. You're also setting yourself up for success when it comes to the photos by controlling their angle and position. But even beyond photo opportunities, you should be taking any chance you can to help your client out. Most notably, you need to be able to put on a boutonniere. You need to be able to put on a bow tie. You should be able to do a pocket square. Heck, I've been the one to put on a veil. I've been the one to bustle a dress because people didn't know how. Even little things like just carrying the train of the bride's dress as you switch locations can go a long way in giving your client a wonderful experience. Tip number 3, get off the phone. Just checking out at Rob Hall Photo on Instagram. Holding your cell phone is the universal body language for I am not interested in what is going on around me. Now, I get it. You might be checking your GPS to see how much time to go to the next location. You might be seeing how much time you have left. You might be showing the best photo you took of the couple on Instagram so that everybody can see them in all their glory. Whatever the case, do it as little as possible and try your best not to let people see you interacting with your phone. If you find yourself checking the time often, I highly suggest this thing that's been around for a while called a watch. It's a great way to tell the time without having to pull out your phone. And things like checking GPS, you should have that all prepped in advance and know how long it's going to take you before you even get to the wedding. And if you need to share a photo of a couple on Instagram, save it for dinner. Tip number 4, ask for permission. Throughout the wedding day and taking photos, you might have a lot of little things that you want to change. Maybe you want to move furniture in the hotel room. Maybe you want to drop their wedding rings in a glass of champagne. Maybe you want to remove the tags off a pair of earrings. Whenever you're making decisions outside of photography decisions, you should just make sure to clear it with the other people involved. Tip number 5, treat the family as if they were your own. Unless you hate your family, then treat them differently. Throughout a wedding day, you're gonna interact with so many people besides the couple that hired you. Make sure to be personal with people. Try to learn their names and address them by name. Treat them really pleasantly, help them when you can, and capture great photos of them. It's really easy to get stuck only capturing and serving the clients that hired you to be there. But the more people that you can interact with and leave a lasting impression on is just the more people that are gonna know how great you are at doing your job. And then it'll be more than just the bride and the groom that are referring your business. My final tip number 6 is to have a very well optimized set of poses. And I don't mean poses as in just really stiff 1980s posing. I just mean have a really optimized plan of attack when it comes to capturing photos of the couple that hired you. Because you will run into time delays. It's a guarantee. It's gonna happen to you at one point or another, and it's best to be able to work really quickly and efficiently. If you guys wanna see a video on what I do in this situation, then go ahead and comment below. Alright guys, those are my top 6 tips for creating a great wedding day experience. If you've got another great tip, make sure to leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and until next time, keep on shooting, YouTube.